So most of the examples I've done up to this point have involved metric units, but we also have to do conversions with non-metric units, so I have a couple examples of those. All right, in this first example, we want to convert 38.2 calories to joules. And calories and joules are two units that we use to measure energy. For the most part, you're not going to have any of these conversion factors memorized. They'll generally be given to you, as is the case here. So we're told that 1 calorie is 4.184 joules. So even if you're given the conversion factor on a separate page, I would still encourage you to take the time to write that down. And so just to model best practice, I'll write that down. So 1 calorie, 4.184 joules. Once you have the conversion factors organized, we'll work the problem the same way that we've done all the other ones. So I'll start by writing down the number I'm trying to convert. Now I'm going from calories to joules. My conversion factor includes both calories and joules, so I can do this in one step. I want the calories to go away, so I need to put the 1 calorie in the denominator so that the calories will cancel. So then the 4.184 joules will go on top. My calories will cancel. And so when I do 38.2 times 4.184, I get 9.13 joules as my final result. Alright, now in this case, we're working with mass units. And in this case, I want to go from pounds into grams. Now the conversion factor they've given me is from kilograms to pounds. And so it's not exactly the units that I'm given in the problem, but they've told me how to go from pounds to kilograms, and I know how to go from kilograms to grams. So in this case, I have a mixture. I'm using both metric and non-metric conversions. So the conversion factors I need are 1 kilogram is 2.20 pounds that they gave me, and then I know that 1 kilogram is 10 to the third grams. Remember, kilo is one of the prefixes that I'm asking you to know. And so I think now I have all the conversions I need in order to do this problem. So I have my 175 pounds. So I want the pounds to go away. So I'm going to put the 2.20 pounds on the bottom. And then the 1 kilogram goes on top. So I've used that conversion factor. And then I need to get rid of the kilograms. So I'll use my second one here. And I'll put the 1 kilogram in the bottom. 10 to the third grams on top. Let's make sure my units cancel. So pounds cancel with pounds, kilograms cancel with kilograms. I'm left with grams, which is what I'm solving for, so that's good. So I'll do 175 times 1,000 divided by 2.2. And the correct number of figures, I get 79,500 grams. All right, let's take a look at another example. All right, so now I'm going from kilometers into LEA. That's the abbreviation for leagues. That's not a unit that we're going to use very commonly, but I wanted to do an example. With these unit conversions, you don't even really have to know what the conversions are. As long as you're given the conversion factors, you should be able to accomplish these unit conversions. So based on what they've given me, I can go from kilometers to miles, and then I go from miles to leagues, which is what I want my final answer to be. So I should be able to do everything with these two conversion factors. So I'll take my 4,500 kilometers. It's going to be 2 steps again. And so I need to get rid of kilometers. So I'm going to put the 1.61 kilometers in the bottom. So the 1 mile has to go on top. So I've used this conversion factor. And so now I'll use this one. So to get rid of my miles, I'll put 3.45 miles on the bottom. That's equal to 1 league. And so I can see the kilometers cancel, the miles cancel. I'm left with leagues, which is good. So now when I do 4,500 divided by 1.61, and then divide that by 3.45, I get 810 leagues. And if you're uncomfortable, I kind of did all that all at once, so let me just show it as well. Let's say I didn't want to just divide and multiply all that in one step, right? I would have done the 4,500 times the 1 times the 1, so I would have ended up with, if I broke this down into two steps, I've had 4,500 on the top, and the bottom would have been 1.61 times 3.45, and so I'd have had 5.5545 on the bottom, and then when you divide those two out, you should get the same thing, 810 leagues. All right, one more example. And so now we're told that the density of plutonium is 19.9 grams per cubic centimeter, and I want to convert this into pounds per cubic inch. So I've got to get both the mass from pounds into grams, and I need to get the inches cubed into centimeters cubed. So I've got to do a couple different things here. So we can do this all at once in one single conversion. In this case, there's a lot going on, and so it might be easier to do the mass and the volume conversion as separate steps. So let's do that. Let's just focus on getting the grams into pounds. Now, they didn't tell us directly how to go from grams to pounds, but they did give us kilograms to pounds. So I'm going to want to use that 1 kilogram is 10 to the third grams, and then 1 kilogram is 2.20 pounds. So this should allow me to get the grams into kilograms, and then the kilograms into pounds. And so I'll have done my mass conversion. So I'll take my 19.9 grams per centimeter cubed, and I want to get rid of the grams. So I'll put 10 to the third grams on the bottom, and so the 1 kilogram will go on top, and I've used that one. And then 1 kilogram on the bottom, 2.20 pounds on top, so I've used that one. Right, the grams cancel, the kilograms cancel. I haven't touched the centimeters cubed, so they're still going to be there. And then my mass units are going to be pounds. So after this, I'll have pounds per cubic centimeter. So I can take the 19.9, multiply it by 2.20, and then divide that by the 10 to the third. And so I get 0.04378 pounds per cubic centimeter. And I know I'm keeping extra significant figures, but that's a better practice. It's best to round at the end. And so I'm going to keep all my significant figures until I'm done with the problem. All right, and now my goal is to get those centimeters cubed into inches cubed. Right? And they didn't give me that directly. They told me that 1 inch is 2.54 centimeters. So I've got to get that into cubic inches and cubic centimeters. So I'm going to take my 1 inch is 2.54 centimeters, and then, like we did before with the cubed units, we have to cube everything, the numbers and the units. So I get 1 inch cubed, and I keep some extra sig figs here. I'm going to use 16.387 centimeters cubed. So now I can take my result from the last one. I've got pounds per cubic centimeter. And the cubic centimeters in the denominator. And so I want the cubic centimeters to go away. So because the cubic centimeters are starting out in the denominator, I need to put the 16.387 centimeters cubed in the numerator. So the centimeters cubed will cancel. So then the 1 inch cubed will be in the bottom, which is where I ultimately want it. So centimeters cubed cancels with centimeters cubed. When I multiply those two out, I get 0.7, and now I do want to get the right number of significant figures, so I should have 3 sig figs, 0.717 pounds per cubic centimeter.